They got to check it out. They got to check it out. I'm sorry. It's good morning. Good seeing you.
Good morning. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Good morning, and thank you for coming in, Kevin.
No doubt.
Can I turn my attention to this
Of
man
course,
right here? First
get
of
it.
all, good to see you, bro. How you doing?
See you too, man.
All right. Before I get into everything with you, and we had our conversation on the boardroom, and go check it out on ESPN Plus. You don't want to miss it. Let me get some of the news out of the way first. I got to get this as gratuitous. The Washington Nationals won the World Series last night.
Why you say it like that?
Yeah, because I'm a New York native. I'm not a D.C. native, Kevin Durant. That's why I said it like that. I'm not happy about it, but how do you feel?
I'm ecstatic. I mean, Chip back in D.C. I mean, we got the Caps, the Mystics, and now the Nats. Feels good.
I'm glad he said
First
that.
time in franchise
I'm
history.
glad he answered that quickly. Let's move on from the champions in D.C. being a better town than New York City right now. Let's move on from that. Let me get to the news of the item. One other news. Steph Curry, your former teammate, goes down last night, broken hand. You saw that? Your thoughts, what went through your mind?
I mean, luckily it wasn't anything more serious than that, you know, especially seeing Clay out for the whole season and myself, you know, out for the whole year. So I'm sure he'll be back playing again, but it was tough to, you know, to see him, you know, just break his hand on TV. I mean, he's been doing so much, and, you know, the team is still transitioning, and it's a new group and a young group, so he's trying to do so much, and having him out is going to be tough for them to sustain. So, you know, hopefully he gets back and gets healthy.
Now that I got that out the way, let's get into you. Let me get right to it. When the hell are you coming back? Is it possible that you're going to come back this year?
Not right now. I'm not thinking about it, just rehabbing every day. It's a slow process, so I'm grinding.
Are you holding out hope that at some point in time in this season, assuming the Brooklyn Nets have a successful season and they're going to get to the playoffs again, or have you completely ruled out the possibility that you can return?
Yes.
You're done. We won't see you at all this year in a Brooklyn Nets uniform.
No, I'm planning on it.
Go ahead, Max.
So we had a conversation on this show yesterday about Kyrie Irving and the disconnect between the way his teammates seemed to like him and the media reports on the latest is mood swings. You two are going to play together in Brooklyn. Reportedly, that's based partly not only on how the level you guys are playing, but your relationship. Can you speak to Kyrie Irving's personality and why it may be interpreted differently by the media and by his teammates?
KD, before you answer that, Kyrie spoke last night after the game about this report. I want you to hear that sound too. So let's play that for KD.
You can continue to ask other people around me about what they think about me and continue to write about mood swings. Like, you know, human beings have mood swings. Like, you go home and you're not happy with things, or you're mad at something and you're happy. That's a mood swing. It's okay to be human. Like, I don't have to be perfect for anyone here, nor do I have to be perfect for the public. So I'm not here to dispel any perception. I'm just here to be myself.
I mean, he just spoke for himself, so I don't really have to say much. But as his teammate, I mean, there's no problems at all. Absolutely none. He comes into work every day, works hard, great teammate, talks to everybody, he's having a great time. But, I mean, obviously, people hit a great thing, and Kyrie's a great, great player, out of this world player. So a lot of situations that we can't control, but he's going to keep working every day.
But do you like, yes, he's a great player, and we like to build people up and tear them down, see if they get up again. But do you think that Kyrie is especially a magnet for that stuff? And if so, why? Why does it seem he gets it out of proportion?
Because you guys don't like him. It's simple. Because he presents no problems, absolutely none.
Hold on. Who are you guys?
Media?
When you say you guys don't like Kyrie Irving.
Whoever says he's a problem in the locker room.
People look at Kyrie, and I totally agree with you from the standpoint, he's a great guy. I've talked to Kyrie on several occasions. Damn smart dude. And he's just a different kind of cat. You know, he doesn't bother anybody. It's ridiculous to me, these stories that have been written about him. It actually ticks me off, but I'll get into that later. When they talk about you, and they talked about Kyrie and the collaboration, you two coming together in Brooklyn, New York. One of the biggest things they talk about, matter of fact, I think it's the only thing they brought up, is the personalities that you two have. Because obviously you've been outspoken in addressing who you perceive to be your critics. He clearly has his own critics as well. And people have wondered how you guys are going to survive and prosper in New York City, playing for the Brooklyn Nets. How do you respond to that?
I don't. I mean, our work shows. We come to work every day, and we've been building up who we are as basketball players since day one, and that's all it's been our focus since day one. I'm talking about as kids. So how we approach it, how we look, or what we may do during games, or how we speak to the media, it really doesn't matter because we come to work every day as professionals.
Do you feel like there is a negative label that is attached to you guys, like people have said to you, have said about you, you're a bit too sensitive? You and I have spoken about that.
Yeah.
But for the national television audience, for people that look at Kevin Durant and say, damn it, he's a bit too sensitive. He has to respond and clap back at anybody that gets at him. What do you say to that?
I mean, we're all sensitive about something. I mean, we're just humans. I mean, I'm not any different from anybody else. If I hear you saying something that I feel is not true, I'm gonna talk to you about it. That's just how it is, us in person or over Instagram. So, I mean, that's just who I am. I mean, I'm not gonna change who I am because people tell me I should act different. I love basketball. I'm approach it the same way I always did.
And yet human beings change over time. People mature. Yeah. We saw you enter the league as a kid. From the way it seems to me, you were much less comfortable in your own skin in front of the media, let's say, as a 19-year-old than you are as in your mid-20s, in your late 20s. Do you think you've changed in that way? And if so, how?
No, I've always been the same person. It's just a matter of me expressing myself, figuring out different ways to express myself. Always had these thoughts in my head, but just getting them out has been different. It's been an evolution. I feel like everybody is on that road.
What was it about the thoughts in your head that you didn't want to get out?
It wasn't that I didn't want to get out. It was just trying to.
What is the story of KD that we're going to learn through, for example, a program like the Boardroom? Is it just the work ethic, put your head down and go? Is there more to it?
Well, the Boardroom isn't just about me. It's about the information that we exchange. Me and him had a nice conversation. We had football players and rappers and, women's and WNBA players just talking about a lot of different topics. It's not just about me, and I'm not on every episode. So I'm the force behind it. We had an idea that we wanted to, we wanted to come out with, but I'm not trying to take over anything. It's just about having my little space over here. We producing some content that people may like. If you like it, cool. If you don't, I'm sure there's other things you can get into, but we just trying to, spread some knowledge.
What's the ultimate objective? And I ask that question only from the standpoint that we see you and a plethora of other athletes trying to extend their voice.
Yeah.
And obviously listening to you go at the media on several occasions. Clearly there's some question marks that you have about the media and their willingness to tell what you believe or know to be true. Yeah. Talk to me about the Boardroom from the perspective of really trying to make inroads in that regard, trying to help give players a voice, essentially.
I feel like I've learned that athletes are more comfortable around other athletes, and I want to just give them a space to talk about the things outside of the game that they're interested in, and I want to know about it as well. It's cool to see what Victor Oladipo is doing outside of the game. It's cool to understand how basketball ties in with, the rap music and other sports, and how big our game is growing into. So it's stuff that I'm interested in and I wanted to learn as well, and I'm sure there's other people like me out here.
I'm going to turn to you and the basketball analyst for a quick second. I want to know your top 5 players in the NBA right now. Give them to me.
Top 5 players.
You talk too much about basketball to act like you don't know now. You know.
I'm going to give you the 5 players I like in the league. Obviously, Kyrie, LeBron, James Harden, Joel Embiid. I'm missing a lot of the guys I enjoy, but Damian Lillard, probably the last guy. But, I mean, so many great players, the name just 5, but all of those guys, I just enjoy watching them play.
What is your aspiration for the rest of your career? Like, when it's over, what would you like to have done?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really look at it that way. It's just keep grinding every single day and see what happens. I can't plan anything. This life is unpredictable. I've tried to plan things before. It didn't go that way. So I just try to just live every day and, see what happens.
Last question.
Okay, real quick. Are you saying that's because I imagine insanely competitive, not just talented. You have to work hard, be very competitive. Are you saying that it's not like, hey, I want to be the greatest ever because that's not up to me? You guys are going to decide that anyway? Or are you saying it truly doesn't matter to you as long as you get the best of your ability?
I'm saying it's just good for my mental health every day. you know, not focusing on stuff I can't control.
Championships are good for your health too, right?
It's all right. It does a little part. It plays a little part for sure.
All right. You winning when you bring one to Brooklyn?
We'll see, man. We'll see.
Appreciate
Thank you so much for
No
being
doubt.
here.
Thanks for having
You're
me.
our neighbor now, so you can
I know,
come
right?
anytime. You're
That's
right
right.
across the bridge,
Yeah.
JD. We hope to see you back on the court soon,
Appreciate that.
honestly.
Good luck.
And here's another taste of the exclusive content you can see on the Boardroom.